Hello and welcome back to another video. If you are new, this is your first time, thank you for stopping by. This is what we'll be cutting and sewing in today's video. Let's get into it. Right here is my fabric and I'm going to start with cutting the back bodies. I folded my material into two. The length of the top is 17 inches. I marked 15 inches here because I will be attaching a band. So from my point here, I will be rolling a straight line which is serving as my shoulder line. I marked my shoulder measurement divided by 2 and I also came down by 8 inches. This is going to be my chest line and I'm going to connect these two lines together. So from my point here, I came down by 1 inch. This is going to be my shoulder slope and I'll connect it to my shoulder line just like this. And right here I'm creating my armhole curve. Just below my chest line, my bust measurement divided by 4 plus 1.5 inch for seam allowance I marked, and on the waistline I'm just going to minus an inch from my bust measurement because I'm adding an elastic. I'll connect my points and also go ahead and cut out my pattern piece. Sorry, my chalk is not visible enough. I notch my center back and I will be using pins to hold my piece together. For the front bodies, I also folded my material into two, and from the center here where it's on fold, I came in by 5 inches. I'm going ahead to mark it out and I will be placing my back pattern right on it where I marked my 5 inches, and I'll just go ahead and tame off the excesses for more clarity. So this is what we have, and for the neckline I will be coming in by 3 inches from the center back and I'll come down by 1 inch for the depth, and I'll go ahead and cut that out. I'll be connecting this point here all the way to the neckline. You can use your curves or rule to do this, but I'm using freehand. And the next thing is to go ahead and cut out where you marked, just like this. So this is what we have. This is my back bodies and I'll be placing the front on it. So here is one side and then this is the other side. You can see it's overlapping already, and I'll just use my pins to hold the two pieces together. Remember, it's right sides facing each other. So I reconfirmed my waistline measurements so that I will know how many inches I'm using when I'm cutting out my band. So this is the material I folded into two, and I will measure the width of my band because I want it to be a bit wide. So 3 inches here, and I'm going ahead to cut out. For the sleeves, I folded my material into 4 to cut both sleeves together and went ahead to cut it out. It's a normal long sleeve with elastic at the wrist and gentle pleats at the cap of the sleeve. Let's head over to the sewing machine to assemble these pattern pieces together. So here is my back pattern and I placed my front on it, the shoulders facing each other, right sides facing each other rather. And I'll also do the same thing on the other side. So once I'm done stitching it, the next thing is to attach my bias, my cutting bias right here from my waistline all the way round to the neckline. Both the back and the front. So I'm going ahead to fold it inward, which is on the wrong side of the fabric, and also sew. The next thing is to align both the back and the front pattern together, and then right here at the center front where it's overlapped, I will be holding it down with pin and I'll go ahead and stitch them down, just like this. Next is to sew my side seams to 1.5 inches, which is the initial allowance I left on both sides. So I'll go ahead and do that. And also repeat the same thing on the other side. So for the waistband, I will be joining the sides together to make it a single piece. And here at the back where I notched, I'm going to be placing the band on it, and I also round the waistline. So once I'm done sewing it all around, I'm going to open up, as you can see, and I'll fold in a little and stitch just at the front like this, and I'll stitch it all the way around, leaving an inch for where my elastic is going to pass through. So here is the opening where my elastic is going to pass through. So I'm going ahead to measure my required elastic. I'll cut out, and I'll be using my pin to pass it through, just like this. I'll pass it all around. So once I'm done passing it through, I will remove my pin, and I will be holding the elastic together on the machine. I will sew it down and push it in, and I will be closing up where I left for the passage of the elastic. So that is what I'm doing right here. I've done that, and this is how it's looking so far. Moving on to the sleeves, I'm going to be folding in by half an inch, which is wide enough for my elastic to pass through. So as you can see, this is what I'm doing, and I'll sew it all the way. I will be repeating the same thing on the other sleeve. So for my elastic, I'm going to be using 7 inches for each of the sleeve. So this is what I'm doing. I'm passing it through. And when it's right at the middle, I'm just going to secure the edge so that it doesn't go in completely. And I'll continue passing it in. So right here it's out, and I'll remove my pin and stitch it down. So here we go. We are done stitching, and I'll just go ahead and join the sleeves. And once I'm done stitching my sleeves, I'm going to be attaching it to the top, and this is the side seam right at the middle of the armhole. I'm going to be joining the two edges of my seams together, and I'll sew my sleeve to the top. And just by the shoulder at the armhole, I'm going to create little pleats. I'm done sewing my sleeves, and this is what our crop top is looking like. I finished it with overlocking and ironing, which brings us to the end of this video. Subscribe if you haven't, if you found this video helpful, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.